Hello and welcome to this webinar on how to get paid what you are worth in 2020. I'm Tracey Ward and I'm absolutely delighted to be here with you on this webinar. Myself and my business partner, Adam, we've been coaching women for over 20 years. One of the things I'm especially passionate about is helping women get to the top in whatever field it is that they're doing, whether or not it's their own business or whether or not it's working in a corporation. One of the things that I see time and time again is that women are not paid what they are worth. And this webinar is all about helping you change that for 2020. So what we're going to be doing on this webinar is really defining your worth, helping you understand how easy it is to come up with a plan so that you are successful, and some great techniques to help you stay the journey so that you make it happen. All that you need for this webinar is a pen and a paper, because at some stage I'm going to get you to do some writing. And if you can, listen to this when you're not going to be interrupted, because this is all about you, and it'd be wonderful if you can invest the time just focusing on you so that you actually make 2020 the year when you are paid what you are worth. So let's begin. What I want to do, I want to start off by telling you a story. This is a client of ours, and this is Sally's story. And I want you to see whether or not there are elements of Sally's story that really resonate with you. So Sally and her husband were emigrating from the UK. And Sally was delightful. She got a job straight away, which took the pressure off her and her husband. The money wasn't great, but her boss dangled this wonderful carrot that she was actually hoping to leave the company one day. And this potentially could be a succession plan for Sally. This could be her company one day, which sounds fantastic. Sally was really, really grateful for the offer. 4 years later, Sally, like you, had put her heart and soul into the company. She cared about the company. She cared about the clients. But there was no succession plan, no pay increase, no bonus. The expenses were so tight. It was incredible. Sally had to catch the bus. Getting a cab or an Uber wasn't acceptable. And no surprises, because of all the effort that Sally was putting in and the care Sally was giving, the company was flourishing. Does this sound familiar to you? And here was a real challenge for Sally, because Sally loved her clients and she felt guilty if she left them. So she felt trapped. She felt totally stuck, underpaid and undervalued. And that's when Sally connected with us. What we actually did is we changed the way Sally saw herself. She really understood she was worth so much more. We opened our eyes to other possibilities. Sally couldn't see how could she command a higher salary when her current boss wasn't going to be open to those negotiations. So we opened our eyes to other possibilities. And we helped Sally be brave. 3 months later, I'm delighted to say Sally actually brokered a deal for her company to be bought out. She actually connected with an old boss of her, which she felt he could be interested in buying this company. So she managed to broker that buyout, and in the process she negotiated a new package for herself, which was $50,000 more. But importantly, she's still working with the clients she loves. So she hasn't had to move or that unsettle of moving companies. She's in the same company. She's just being paid a lot more. And she's now the boss of her current, what was her current boss. So Sally now feels really empowered, valued, and I can't tell you, she is really, really happy. And this is what we want you to do. We want you to think with an open mind the possibilities for 2020. So let me take you through that process. I want you to imagine I have a magic wand. So I want you to sit for a moment and just picture yourself. It's the end of 2020, the end of 2020. I want you to picture that you're sat somewhere. You may be sat on the balcony of the new apartment you've bought. You might be sat on a beautiful beach because you're on a tropical holiday somewhere. It doesn't matter where, but I want you to create a picture in your mind. This is really important, of where you are sat at the end of 2020. And I want you to reflect on the year and just picture all the changes that this year has brought. So as you can see yourself, maybe you're sat on the balcony, or you're sat on a beautiful beach. I want you to think about how much money have you earned in 2020? Remember, you have all the resources you need. In this picture, you have all the resources you need. You can have it all. You are worthy of it all. Don't get into the, oh, Tracey, I don't know how. This is just your picture, your dream. So think about how much money have you earned this year? What holidays have you been on or are on currently? How are you spending your time? What did your typical week look like in 2020? Who are you spending time with? Where are you living? What beautiful things have you bought? How have you contributed to this beautiful planet and the wonderful people within? Take a couple of deep breaths and create this mental picture in your mind. It's the end of 2020. It's been an amazing year for you. Everything you ever dreamed of has come true. Really see it in your mind's eye. See that picture of that brilliant, brilliant year. Sense how you're feeling now that you're being paid what you are worth. Capture that feeling within. Now, when you're ready, what I want you to do is open your eyes, grab your pen and paper. I want you to imagine you are writing a letter to a very dear person in your life. They may not be alive, it could be somebody that's passed, but you're writing them a letter. You're letting them know how wonderful 2020 has been. because you know they really care about you. They want you to be successful. They want the very best for you. So with your pen and paper, I want you to start capturing that beautiful vision that you've had in your mind's eye, and write a letter to this very dear person. Start off the letter with, I'm so happy and grateful. 2020 has been an amazing year. Right in the present tense, it's the end of 2020. Describe the year. Describe the year to this beautiful person that you know, that cares about you, that wants you to be successful. Let them know what you're being paid. Let them know the joy that you feel and what this money has allowed you to do. Make them smile as you capture the detail of your new life. Make them happy in the knowledge that finally you are being paid what you are worth. How wonderful is that? Keep on writing. Keep adding the detail. Add the emotion of how you're feeling. And describe the positive impact you are now making on this world. Because finally you are being paid what you are worth. Okay, keep writing. Don't worry if you've still got more to capture. That's wonderful. At the end of this webinar, you can write an even bigger letter to this dear person, spelling out your wonderful life at the end of 2020. Now that you've written the letter, this is what I want you to do. I want you to look at that beautiful vision that you've created for yourself at the end of 2020. And if this is what you want, there are two questions you need to ask yourself. Firstly, are you willing to do what it takes to make sure that you achieve your dream at the end of 2020? And secondly, are you able to do it? So if we look at Sally's case, if we ask Sally, is she willing to do what it takes? So let's think about some of the things that Sally needed to do. So firstly, she needed to reach out to her old boss, who she saw as a potential buyer for the company she was working in. She needed to sell him on the idea of purchasing the company she was in. She also needed to spell out to him what she believed she was worth. Hence, she believed she was worth an extra $50,000. She also needed to negotiate the reasons why she should stay in the company should he buy it. And she needed to be willing to have a conversation with her current boss about being open to the process of being bought out by this other company. So we asked her, was she willing to do this? Of which we got an emphatic yes from Sally. Then the next question is she able to do this? Well, when Sally looked at this, she went, yeah, I suppose so. And we said, well, are you able? And she goes, yes, she just needed somebody else to go, of course you're able, Sally. Just that incentive to be brave. But there was absolutely no reason why she wasn't able. So that's what I want you to do with your dream, is ask yourself these two questions. Are you willing to do what it takes to get your beautiful, beautiful dream and turn it into reality? And are you able to do it? Because if you answer yes to both of those questions, then boy, 2020 is going to be a great year for you. Because what we do, you've defined your worth. You've defined it. You've pictured it. It's fabulous. If you've said, are you willing to do what it takes and am I able? And you've answered yes to those, then your dream has now become theory. It's now become a goal. This is your goal for 2020 and it's really exciting. So all we need to do now is plan for success and use a repetitive process so that you stay on track. And that goal will actually become fact by the end of 2020. So let's get started. Let's have a look now at how we plan for success. On another blank piece of paper, this is what I want you to do after the call. I want you to write the goal at the top of the paper. So in terms of Sally's, she wanted to earn an extra 50K and it was by the end of this year, by 2019. So she's written it, I will earn an extra 50K by December 2019. So this was a couple of months ago. Note that she's put, look, I will earn. And what I want you to do with this plan is imagine, for Sally was imagining that this 50,000 is already coming to her, right? It's already happening. So that's happening. And then you have two columns. Why I can't get it. So this is all the negative, the excuses, the blame, the fear, the guilt, even naysayers. Some of your friends will often be the most negatively, unwittingly with your goal. But if Sally were to say to her friends, look, I'm just going to, I've decided I want to be paid $50,000 more. And Sally was on about, 150Ks already. So that's a third more. You can imagine her friends going, oh, you've got to be joking. That's ridiculous. Have you not heard we're in a bit of a downturn? That's what I mean by naysayers. So write the goal at the top. I will earn, it's coming to you, an extra 50K by the end of December. Then these two columns, why I can't get it, and then how I will get it. With the why I can't get it, it's important, write the heading down and then scrub it out. Scrub it out. Do not even go there with any of your excuses, your blame, your fear, your naysayers. Don't entertain it. On the other column, how I will get it, think of all the possible ideas you can do so that you can achieve your goal. So in Sally's case, she realized, you know what, I need to get a coach here. I need to contact the potential buyer. I need to define my worth. I need to spell out my skills, my talent. I need to define my ideal role, spell out my requirements, brush up on my negotiations, and have a chat with my current boss. Every day, review this plan, knowing that your goal is going to happen. It's happening. The universe is going to send it. In Sally's case, she was going to earn an extra 50K by the end of December. And now it's just about reviewing all the things that you can do to make that goal a reality. And be totally open-minded. Just sit with an open mind and just write ideas. You'll be amazed what ideas come. And then start putting some of those into action. So that's how you plan for success. You believe the goal is going to come, and you just are open-minded to all the different ways that you're going to achieve it. Now, to help you stay the course, it's really important that you stay in a mindset that you're going to be achieving your goal. So the first thing that I want you to do every day is write the goal, very similar to what you did in terms of writing the letter. You're going to write it every morning. Start off with the opening line, I'm so happy and grateful. Write it in the present tense. So it's the end of 2020 and you've absolutely nailed your goal. So make sure as you write it, you add more emotion and you add the details on the dollars. Be specific on how much money you have earned. So you're really tight on what this goal is. So write that goal down daily so that you're really reprogramming your subconscious so that you realize it's going to happen. You're just eliminating the doubt. To help with that, have reminders around you. So put post-it notes or write on your mirror. Have your goal stuck on your computer so that you know this is what you're achieving this year. It's going to happen. Because as Earl Nightingale said, we become what we think about. Start carrying cash around with you. Now, this is really interesting. We're becoming a cashless society, so we tend to have cards on us. But the thing is, a credit card doesn't work the same on our subconscious as having cash in our wallet. How often have you said, if there's somebody that's, maybe there's somebody on the street corner asking for $1 and you say, oh, sorry, I don't have any cash on me. What you're telling your subconscious is you don't have any money. So if you carry some cash around you where you can see it, your subconscious will really start to believe that the money's there and the money's coming in. This is so important. It might seem so simple, but it's really important in terms of reprogramming our subconscious in how we think around the money and how we feel around the money. And then the third technique to really help you stay the course is for you to start behaving now as if you've already achieved your goal at the end of 2020. So imagine if the goal at the end of 2020 is you're doing lots of international travel, you're staying in luxury hotels, and you've added an extra 100K to your salary. Fantastic. What a beautiful goal. So I want you to start behaving as if you've already achieved that goal. Now, you might be saying to me, Tracey, you don't understand. I've got barely any money in my bank account. That's okay. Just wear your best work clothes. Imagine that you now are this executive that's been promoted. And whereas you might not be able to afford to go traveling overseas, but you can pop to a hotel in your city and go to a rooftop bar and have a drink. And when you're up there and you're looking at the balcony, just imagine this is what you're going to be doing all the time in 2020. You're going to be staying in glorious hotels, looking out across the world. So start behaving and making decisions as if you are already that highly paid, highly successful, international traveling executive. Yeah, so start behaving as if the goal has already happened. And then the final thing to help you absolutely achieve your goal is to get a coach. It's so easy to start off the year going, okay, I've got this goal, new goal for 2020, but stuff happens, and sometimes we can just, even with the best will, lose our way. And it's why I have a personal trainer. I know where the gym is. I know how to get to the gym, but do I turn up regularly? Do I work as hard? No, I work much better if I've got a personal trainer. So I really recommend, if you are looking at this goal for 2020 and you're going, do you know what? It's time. It's absolutely time. I was paid what I was worth. Then I really recommend you get a coach. Now, whether or not it's myself or Adam or somebody else, it doesn't matter, but it does matter that you get the support you need so that you achieve the goals that you so very much deserve. So certainly, if you're unhappy with the results you're currently getting and you feel you are worth so much more, we would love to talk to you. And you're more than welcome to book in for a free discovery call, just so that we can help you really define your goal for 2020. That's always just a great starting point. So as you can see, if you go to the website traceywardcoaching.com/opt-in, you can book a free discovery call with either of us. So I wish you all the very success. I genuinely do. I genuinely want you to have a truly successful 2020. So start getting into that habit, write that goal, write your plan, keep the reminders happening, and behave as if you've achieved the goal, so that at the end of 2020, you can sit back and go, wow, that was a brilliant year. Thank you.